Okay, guys. We have a dog shit content lineup today, boys. We have 6 sex workers versus 1 secret virgin, odd one out. Who's the most black stranger? 5 hypo versus 2 secret sober people. These are all very dog shit.
$26 Andy.
What? Which one? I'll try this one.
Are you facing a challenging dilemma in your life right now? The Dilemma is a new Jubilee show, and we're looking for—
I am. One more round,
Everyone
the Joker
get
or not? This has been a dilemma now.
What will that tell you about me?
I guess who's more comfortable?
What platforms
Fortnite
do you guys
pockets.
use?
I do porn on my OnlyFans.
I do OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans, just for fans, and I do in-person work as well.
Okay.
I actually don't use a platform. I'm just a stripper and a sugar baby.
Like she said she didn't have an OnlyFans. Like I feel like every sex worker that I've known at least like uses OnlyFans in some regard. Just OnlyFans, yeah.
I was a sugar baby for a brief period, but since the pandemic, OnlyFans was like popular, so I hopped on the wave. What's your guys' favorite part about sex work?
Money. The only good part.
I mean, I'm pretty promiscuous in my real life, so I feel like I'm just doing exactly what I would be doing
I like
anyway.
the creative side.
I feel like I was sexual like in the past,
Welcome
but
to the
after like
jungle.
working in the sex industry, I've become less. I feel like your boundaries have to be so important.
Even on OnlyFans, like even through online, like having that relationship that's
What
like.
do you do on your OnlyFans?
I used to do like girl, but I've kind of transitioned into like a softer core because I'm actually on my way out. I'm retiring this year because I'm getting married. Not that, I mean, you can be married and do it.
The comment about like getting married kind of made no sense to me. So when I get married, I'm gonna still hold a out.
I wanted to think of like
Okay, this lip liner is fucking disgusting. I don't want to be rude or some shit, okay? But this shit looks like a big ass donut. This is like a glazed maple syrup donut from Tim Hortons. What the fuck is that?
something only people like with an OnlyFans would know. What happens when you block someone?
You can choose whether or not they still have access.
No, when they're blocked, they're gone.
Don't die.
Yeah, I should set up.
As a sex worker, everyone kind of has a look. He was the only one that didn't have like a specific look.
He was shuffling his feet. I was shuffling my feet because I'm anxious, but I was like,
He just wasn't giving me a sex worker vibe.
I would agree, but this guy looks like he
I didn't suspect Jay at all because like, look at that guy. He obviously f***s.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, but I guess I was
What?
pretty quiet. I don't really say too much, so.
Currently, I do like different like themes and stuff like that 'cause I like to dress up. So this is a cow
Felix,
outfit,
I
one of my
heard a quote
favorites.
once, would you
And
like to
then
hear
I
it?
have these sequin
It goes
shorts
like
that I wear
Gentleman
like to start
Fortune
off with, but they don't stay
will
on for
give me
long.
my
when he brought
fortune.
out the cow costume, I was
Surely
like,
this
what
is
is
true
he?
aware.
What is he gonna do in the cow costume?
Like, does he move or himself off in it, or like what?
Yeah, there's something that I always ask the girls in the chat. Why do you? It's a girl question. Why do the girls draw eyebrows on like a painting? They draw them on. In fact, you can tell that it's drawn on. I know it's not real eyebrows, so why do you draw them on?
What are you actually doing in that costume?
So I brought my favorite pair of stripper heels. I love wearing
Then
white
their
heels
fathers
at
must
work
be
because
so
there's
proud
like
of them.
the
I
blue
mean, like,
lights and everything, so
their
they just
fathers
like glow
probably
different.
love their
Make it
child
full.
and
Yeah.
support
Okay,
what they
I
do for them.
brought my
I am so
Trans
happy for
Erotica
them.
Award. I was the best trans man performer.
How much did that cost to get commissioned on Etsy?
Right, I did that just for that.
I have that too.
Let me just grab it up by this. But this is pretty, I don't know if this is kid friendly. I don't know if it's that much better, honestly, but
Like way worse.
it's a speculum. I do a lot of like kink.
Okay, that's fucking disgusting. Just
Play
stop.
shooter. This is my first ever like, 'cause I'm Asian, la la la.
What
This is
the
my first
fuck
ever
is
like
that?
outfit that I like wore.
I'm good.
This is a ring light, the necessities. This is a Pornhub slipper because you need to be cozy. And this is like, you know, like what I wear on a Saturday night for fun. Yeah, obvious.
I brought my birth control because I was like, I'm obviously not a virgin.
She brought birth control, and I was like, anybody could have birth control. I had birth control when I was like 14.
This is just
So
little
I don't
cringe.
know that like convinced me.
The birth control is like the one thing you can't be like,
I took birth
have
control
sex.
for my acne.
You could have menstrual issues.
Now that
and use it
I'm
for
a
that.
doctor, I have a speculum. Yeah, there's a lot of like health.
I didn't really think about that.
How did y'all get started?
I actually didn't get started in the best way. I was like kind of groomed into it. I was 17 when I started doing full service sex work. I was a homeless youth, and that was pretty much the only way that I could make money enough to like support myself. And then obviously that was dangerous, and so yeah, then I started to do it on the OnlyFans, and then I got addicted to fast money.
Yeah, I was kind of surrounded by other sex workers and was trying to start a freelance writing career that was not going very well. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try to make a little coin on the side. And then I started picking up some studio work and started making my own stuff. And yeah, that's how I got started. And now I do that instead.
I'm just gonna eat my food for a little bit. Just kind of let this play through.
There's a three-way tie. The tie is between Ashley, Jenny, and Terrell. You guys are gonna have.
Ash is a stripper. I
seconds.
buy into it 100%.
I'm 0.2 on OnlyFans. I make over 6 figures. I do it only for the money. I hate men. I literally think I'm becoming more attracted to women because of my job.
So I got started stripping when I was 19.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it as a blanket statement. I think saying I hate men is just as bad as saying I hate women. I said it. Okay. Okay. I get it. Some are more. I'm not gonna
I
get
saw an
into it,
ad on
man.
Instagram that they were looking for people, and I was like, oh, yeah. And I had been a competitive dancer my whole life, so it was like, made sense to do it. And then I started working at a different club, and then at that club, I met my sugar daddy, who I've had for like almost 4 years now.
Yeah, I started when I was like, 21. I was actually working at a sex club in DC. I was a receptionist, and the guy would come all the time, and he would ask me things like, when you can come in and sleep with me, and then I was just like, you got some money? So I started with that, but I really do want to get
I think it's her and her, or her and him.
money so I can get my production company started and have a great gay sex show.
A lot of strippers do that. She kind of dresses like a stripper.
Because I worked as a receptionist.
She looks like she's faking it a little bit. You know what? But 1 and 2, I think. 1 and 2, it's gotta be.
Bye.
I was like, why would y'all think I'm a virgin? Like, do I look like a virgin?
I just wanted to like go back to the previous conversation because we don't have a lot of representation as sex workers. So I try to stray away from saying things
Wait,
like
what?
fast money or easy money because a lot of the times people will be
Not a lot of representation. It is the most consumed content on the internet.
like, oh,
By a long shot.
away from saying things like fast money or easy money because a lot of the times people will be like, oh, see, like they just woke up and they just made money. And it's really hard.
It's like irritating when people are like, oh, I should just do an OnlyFans so I can make hella money too. Like, it's
like-
not that easy.
It's definitely a grind, but I think that it is different in a way that like, I don't know, I was able in my first month to make $25,000, which like is just like not a
Is this
normal.
a streamer? What are you talking about?
It's such a small percentage of people who are going to make that easy money.
Yeah.
Even me, as a trans man, I don't make a ton of money compared to what other people do. But
We do sacrifices and we put ourselves in compromising positions sometimes, and that's why we make a lot of money, especially because the social stigma makes
There's a
it
lot of
dangerous.
risk. Totally, thank you.
Coming
for
across.
sure. So when did everyone lose their virginity?
Okay, so I hope my mom isn't watching this. But I was 13 and I was, right? It was so young. I was dating this guy for a few months, and we decided to have sex. It was with a banana-flavored condom, like in his like dirty bed, like
Was
rushed
he also
before.
13?
He was also 13.
Okay.
Banana condom makes more sense. I think virginity is actually a construct. I think that virginity was created by men who think that a penis can change the chemistry of a woman's body. But I lost my virginity at 16 and I had blood streaming. It's a horror story.
I wouldn't say I was like super religious growing up, but I kind of had like some reservations about penis and vagina sex for a while. So in high school, I did the poop hole loophole, so I didn't go to hell.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's kind of sexy.
I grew up super religiously too. I was actually a Jehovah's Witness, and I was gonna save myself until marriage. I can't even begin to imagine that now. But I was 17. Like it like happened enough to say that I lost my virginity, but I wouldn't say like I had sex. You know what I mean?
Virginity
Like
is a
it kind of
construct,
happened,
yeah.
but okay, wait. I have a question. Is water a good lube?
No.
Water?
I mean, spit, like water-based lube, yes.
Water-based lube,
Yeah.
yes, please.
I was just looking for the virgin.
1 and 2, 1 and 2, definitely.
I've like, had so much awful sex in a jacuzzi. It's the worst.
It's giving UTI.
Yeah, it's giving UTI. It's giving uncomfy. It's giving like, why is this so wet and dry at the same time?
Oh, there's only one?
And
Oh, there's only one in this one. Oh,
I
definitely
heard
a
Jehovah's
Ginny.
Witness and my ears perked up.
Definitely one. It's it's not even close either.
Raise your hand if you
By
think
a
the
mega
mole
long
is still
shot.
in the box and would like to continue the game.
Ginny was just the last person that I had the little tiniest bit of suspicion.
She's mega
about.
faking it.
So starting now, for every time you vote someone out who is not the mole, the total prize money is going to be reduced.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh wait.
what do your parents think?
My dad kind of. I have a really like weird relationship with both my parents. My mom doesn't know, but I feel like she knows. My dad doesn't know, but I feel like he knows. I live with my dad, so he's like probably wondering like why I have so much free time.
And is
Find my
he
way.
Jehovah's Witness still?
No, my dad was never. My mom was, and I used to live with her, and then I moved out.
Yeah, I'm not super close with my family. I'm totally proud of the work that I do. I'll tell anybody. I'll tell anybody all day long, but I'm not close with my family, so it's just not the kind of information I feel safe sharing with them. I don't think that they
I
would
respect that.
support it necessarily.
Like, it's not necessarily the work itself, especially since I'm an online sex worker, that's dangerous. It's more like the social stigma from people who.
She just doesn't feel into it. She doesn't feel like she's passionate by it.
What I do.
She only shares when she's asked to, and kind of strays away from the main topic. That's why I choose her.
But like, I like love guys, and I like making them feel good. You know, my supporters, like, I really appreciate them, but sex work can be dangerous because of the way people perceive us.
The fact that she said she'd been a Jehovah's Witness, it was just a possibility that maybe she was a virgin.
Smart.
I was kind of listening to like the marker, and I could hear that everyone wrote my name down. So then I just wrote Kazumi down.
Okay, I mean she's.
Sorry.
Yeah, she might be too high IQ for this.
Raise your hand if you think the mole is still in the box and you would like to continue the game. So if the lights turn green, that means you voted the mole out and you all win. However, if the lights turn red, that means the mole is still
Green.
in the box and you lose.
I was pretty confident that, a couple of hookers could sniff out who the virgin was.
Will the mole reveal themselves?
Definitely
in
one.
3,
Did that guy suck a full balloon of helium before the show?
reveal.
Wait, really? Come on, man.
Hi xQc.
Are you still gonna have a gay show?
No, it was all a lie.
Girlfriend
It was all a lie. It was all a lie.
It's like a Halloween costume.
Yeah, it was a Halloween costume.
knew it.
Yeah, it was a Halloween costume.
Can we ask why you're a virgin? Is it like a choice?
No, it's
that's
not
weird.
anything.
He
I'm
played a
not
good
into,
game.
Like, marriage or anything like that. I'm just like really, I don't know. I wasn't introduced to sex like at all.
He played a
really,
good game.
like,
It is what it
till, like,
is. It's a game at the end of the day.
But yeah, not to marriage or anything. Just when I meet the right guy. So if he's watching, call me.
To be a sex worker means being a small business owner. It means being a content creator and an entrepreneur. I sell a product just like many other people do. It just happens to be that my product is sex and my body.
I did misspeak when I said that it was fast money. I think it is like a ridiculous amount of money, very, very fast. But it's definitely at the cost of other things.
That's still
How
fast.
is it hard to post half-naked pictures of yourself and make money off of it?
A
Bro,
deep
what the
sadness.
fuck?
Like not.
Bro, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you talking?
I don't want to go too deep, but I think that there's like a deep sadness. Like not all of us are like so happy to be sex workers. It was sort of a necessity to bring me out of like a pretty bad place.
There's a million other girls who are just as hot, horny, and ready to do it as me, and they're not making the same amount of money as me because they're not doing what I'm doing. Why can't sluts change the world? That's a stack.
That's a stat.
You got one wrong, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it in half.
Wow.
In half?
A
You
stack.
get some.
Everybody gets
You
a
get
stack.
some.
Minus 46 months.
Okay, what is this guy?
It's just in, a jury member is speaking out on TikTok, but is not showing their face because they wish to remain
Hi,
anonymous.
Mr. C.
So let's
I
get into it. They
appreciate all the
posted
amazing
2
streams and
videos,
content.
comments where they spilled
It's a good
some
video?
tea.
Yeah.
Wawa
Here
asks,
is a
what was
very
your
quick
reaction
man
when her
of
dog
precise
stepped on a
bird.
bee? He writes, she seemed to just be pulling stories out of the air at that point. Why 10 million and not 50? Unrealistic amount, and not all the jurors agreed on amounts. Found a happy medium.
Well, I feel like anybody could type this up though. Maybe it didn't bother.
Can you give any insight as to why you found in Amber's favor on one statement? He writes, it was a compromise. The jury has to be unanimous. I was all in favor of Deb 100%. What was you/the other jurors' reaction to her constantly looking over at you, and thoughts on Dr. Spiegel? He writes, it seemed incredibly unnatural, and it's hard to have someone constantly look at you when you can't talk back to them. User asks, can you tell us why it was 15 million but not 50 million? And thank you for giving back Johnny life. He answers, jury cannot agree on the amount. User asks, thank you for sharing this. Were there moments in the trial that helped you see who was the...
Well, I wish he kind of like said something only the jury could have known, right? Like, so like one hint of something that like other people can verify that it. Otherwise, it's just like
actual victim
anybody
here.
can type this up.
He answers, yes, she reminded
does
me of
later?
my ex, how she used to gaslight. I trusted my gut. User asked, did the jurors pick up on the fact that Amber initially denied the op-ed was about JD, but then she completely admitted it during her final testimony? He writes, yes, we did. This user asks, did the jury notice she never shed a real tear? He answers, yes. Gavin asked, did everyone on the jury hate Amber? He writes, not hate, but most didn't empathize. Ashley asks, what would you say the moment that you were like, nope, if she's lying about this, she's lying about everything? He writes, I would say the donation/pledge to charity. A user asks, what did you think of Dr. Spiegel, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory psychiatrist? He writes, he did not help Amber's case at all. A user asks, did you notice the bruise kit that was in the photo with...
I'm gonna be honest though, chat. The thing about Dr. Spiegel though is that, you know, yeah, we hated on him and he kind of looked goofy a little bit. I think if you go and check back what he said, I'm pretty sure all he said was factual. I could be wrong about this though. I think a lot of what he said was factual. The problem is that he was being sabotaged by just yes, I think he was pretty good. He was pretty knowledgeable. I think some of the questions that the attorneys were asking, right, were like setting him up for failure because of how confusing and stupid the questions were, literally. And he was
Amber's
tripping.
Case at all. A user asked, did you notice the bruise kit that was in the photo with the ice cream melting down his pants? He answers, I did not notice that. Wow. Someone asked...
Guys, in my opinion, chat, guys, the kryptonite of 5 head is literally 0 head. You know, you think it would obliterate it, right? I feel like 0 head just smokes 5 head.
Do you think Isaac Baruch was a gem as
in front
well?
of the jury?
I love him. He answers, he was by far the best, straight to the point, no BS. User asked, did any of the jurors believe Amber? He writes, wouldn't say believed her, but saw it as they both were guilty of defaming each other. A user asked, we were so scared since you weren't allowed to go to social media. Has anything you've seen after the trial shocked you? He writes, just how funny all the edits are because all I saw was 100 hours of unedited debate.
Even though they build the fame, the one is quantifiable and the other one really isn't quantifiable, which is her side. On top of that, it's way easier to quantify downwards from a built-up block than upwards from an unknown forward and back. It's just way harder. So I don't know why they give her anything, in my opinion. Yes, there's less to fall back on to make an analysis. Literally. It's easier to start on something and calculate the down, the missing, than a potential upwards, right? Like her. Also, she started. I mean, we have a classic ping pong phenomenon here.
Puts it into perspective, the court of public opinion. Jessica asks,
What?
now that you have been on social media, is there anything you've heard or read that would have changed your decisions had you known before? He answers, I guess it's seeing a compilation of mannerisms from both sides. Seeing it in that context makes it much more obvious and all the insight from TikTok. All right, so that pretty much covers all of the questions that were answered on his TikTok. I avoided some duplicates. Now let's watch that one video he posted. It's very interesting, and I linked his TikTok down below so you guys can check it out as well.
So today was my last day of being a juror on the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, and I wish to remain anonymous, but I thought I'd give some insight on my thoughts about the trial. I don't follow pop culture too much, so I haven't really been a fan of Johnny Depp or Amber Heard, so I feel I was able to be pretty unbiased about the whole thing. But from the very beginning, when Amber Heard was testifying, everything just seemed so off with how she kept making eye contact with me, and it made me extremely uncomfortable to where I would no longer look over at her when she was giving her answers. I would just listen intently, and everything she was saying came off like bullshit. And I wasn't following anything on TikTok during the whole trial, and I was scrolling through after the trial, and it blows my mind on how every single person seemed to be commenting on how weird it was. So, good news for Johnny Depp. That was my gut feeling after all the information in the trial. But Amber Heard,
Could be fake, really.
What a crazy woman.
I don't know.
Wow, guys, so you heard it here first, folks. A juror has spoken out on TikTok and wishes to...
Like a picture of I don't know, anywhere inside the courtroom that is off limits, like the ground or his shoes, anything that is like illegal to post, but it would show anything at all, anything whatsoever. Even a sketch would win.
Anonymous. What do you guys think of these insights provided by the juror? Sound off in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can hang out with me and Miss Gabby and Cardi, who's actually a little shy right now, in the future. Bye, guys.
You can't bring phones, but I'm sure that there's something you can do inside the courthouse somewhere that proves that you're a jury member, man. Like, man. You know? Oh, his voice the same as the guy who said yes in the very end. It makes sense, actually. Okay, yeah, okay, and I believe it now. I didn't think about that. Smart. Pretty smart. Nims spots something during a soccer match. Sorry about that. Will Nif wins the title. I don't know what that is. It looks kind of weird. Ginny